Hello, grade 4. It's our last lesson together, perimeter and area. Let's start with this problem. Julio is putting a stone border around his rectangular garden. The length of the garden is 6 feet. The width of the garden is 4 feet. How many feet of stone border does Julio need? To find how many feet of stone border Julio needs, we have to find the perimeter of the garden. The perimeter is the distance around the shape. The shape of the garden is a rectangle. One way to find the perimeter of a rectangle is to use addition. Let's add up all the sides to find the perimeter. The first length is 6 feet. What is the first width? The first width is 4 feet. What's the second length? The second length is the same as the first, 6 feet. What about the second width? The second width is the same as the first, 4 feet. When you add up all the sides, the total is 20. So Julio needs 20 feet of stone border. Let's find out how are the base, height, and area of a rectangle related. The base, B, of a two-dimensional figure can be any side. The height, h, is the measure of a perpendicular line segment from the base to the top of the figure. Remember, perpendicular lines and perpendicular line segments form right angles. So now you know what the base and height of a rectangle are. What do they have to do with the area? Area is the number of square units needed to cover a flat surface without gaps or overlaps. A square unit is a square that is 1 unit long and 1 unit wide. To find the area of a figure, count the number of square units inside the figure when it's covered without gaps or overlaps. How many square units cover this rectangle? It takes 15 square units to cover this rectangle, so the area is 15 square units. Let's fill in this table to find the areas of some more rectangles. The base of the first rectangle is 5 units. How many units in the height? There are 2 units in the height. So what's the area of this rectangle? Let's count the square units. It's 10 square units. What are the base and height of the second rectangle? The base is 6 units and the height is 2 units. Let's count the square units to find the area. The area is 12 square units. The base is 4 units and the height is 4 units. The area is 16 square units. Let's go back to the first row. 5 units times 2 units equals 10 square units. The same is true for the second row. 6 units times 2 units equals 12 square units. And 4 units times 4 units equals 16 square units. So you can see that the area of a rectangle is equal to the product of the base times the height. You can use a formula to find the area of a rectangle. A formula for finding the area of a rectangle is A equals B times H. A stands for area, B stands for base, and H stands for height. Now use the formula to figure out the area of this rectangle. Let's count the number of units in the base. B is 3. Let's see what the height is. H is 3 also. Now multiply 3 times 3 to find out what the area is. The area of this rectangle is 9 square units. Let's use the formula to find the area of another rectangle. This time the measurements are shown in the diagram. So you can fill in the formula replacing B and H with the measurements given. Let's multiply 8 feet times 3 feet to find the area of this rectangle. The area is 24 square feet. Let's find the area of this rectangle. Let's use the formula A equals B times H. Complete the formula with the measurements in this diagram. The formula should be filled in with 4 centimeters for the base and 7 centimeters for the height. What's the area of this rectangle? If you said 28, it's correct. You multiplied correctly. The answer is 28 square centimeters. Let's try to find the perimeter another way. You can use multiplication to find the perimeter of a rectangle and a square. Think, how can you find the perimeter of a rectangle? A formula is a mathematical rule. You can use a formula to find the perimeter. The perimeter is equal to the product of 2 times the length plus the product of 2 times the width. You can also represent perimeter with a P, length with an L, and width with a W. Now let's use the formula to find the perimeter. We should write the numbers we know in place of the letters. What number is the length? The length of this rectangle is 10 centimeters. What's the width? The width of this rectangle is 7 centimeters. The perimeter is equal to 20 plus 14. So, the perimeter is 34 centimeters. Now let's find the perimeter of a square. The perimeter P is equal to the length plus the width plus the length plus the width. This can be simplified into S plus S plus S plus S, since all of the sides of a square are equal. Simplifying again, the perimeter is equal to 4 times the length of one side. What is the length of one side of this square? The length of one side is 9 inches. Now multiply 4 times 9. 4 times 9 is equal to 36. The perimeter of this square is 36 inches.